Hello and welcome to First Impressions, a show where I watch an animated show for the first time and give my opinions about it. And oh man, are we in for a roller coaster of opinions in this video. I sometimes like to browse Disney XD in search of content to cover. Sure, there's huge amounts of just meh cartoons that aren't really worth mentioning, which of course means I'll mention them all eventually, but also because you'll find a hidden gem or two like Gravity Falls. So, in my travels, I've come across Star vs. the Forces of Evil. Now, I had asked around the internet whether or not the show is worth a watch, just so I know what I'm in for. What I found was equal parts, you absolutely should, it's an awesome show! And god no, the show was terrible. So I have no idea what I'm in for. They say the first impression is the most important, so let's check out Star vs. the Forces of Evil. Oy vey. The first thing that I notice is how hard the show is trying not to be a cliche, yet at the same time it feels like a huge cliche. I'm not sure what it is, but it just feels standard. You like that word? Standard? Well, you're gonna hear that a lot in this video. The show's premise is that Star Butterfly is a princess of this magical land called Muni, and she just turned old enough to be given this magical family talisman wand thingy. Well, it turns out she sucks at it, so her parents ship her out to chill out a bit on Earth to learn how to use her wand better and train in this safe school environment. As a result, she attends a normal Earth school. If there's not an anime with this exact plot somewhere, I'll be surprised. Speaking of plot, some of the writing can be a little... yeah, this exposition, for example, was kind of forced.
You wear a helmet in the gym shower one time and you're labeled for life. Oh, broken glass. Frankly, I like taking risks and would welcome a little danger in my life.
And there's a lot of lines like this in the show. The second thing that I noticed was the whiplash that my eyes and mind were under. This show is very fast-paced, and episodes span the standard 11-minute mark. I'm not sure how shows like Steven Universe, Adventure Time, etc. can be so well written and paced out in 11-minute blocks and still feel at a natural pace. But Star vs. the okay, alright, that's a mouthful. From this point on, I will refer to the show as Star vs. Evil. Anyway, it feels like Star vs. Evil is trying to compress much bigger ideas into a time restraint rather than working with the time that they're giving. In result, the show feels a bit too fast. For Disney's recent show lineup, it's pretty standard in pacing, but I don't like it. I had to watch this episode 3 or 4 times over just so I could retain what I was watching. And yes, I know the show was made for kids and that they like that fast-paced stuff like Fairly Odd Parents or whatever. I mean, I used to like that when I was younger, but as a personal preference right now, it's not exactly my cup of tea. I'm not saying that I hate it, I'm just saying I'm already lukewarm towards the show, but I'm not even 7 minutes in yet. Alright, let's talk art style and animation. I'll start with the positives. I'm alright with the show's general design, especially the design of the main character, Star Butterfly. She looks cool. The color palette is also pretty nice, and so is the lighting. It's colorful and vibrant and expressive and fun to look at. Alright, here's the negatives. As for the presentation of the show, nothing here looks unique or fresh. At all. All of the environments just feel like backdrops to the characters rather than actual locations. The show basically looks and feels like any other fast, flash-based cartoon on Disney XD. It doesn't look or feel like it has its own identity, and rather just blends in with the XD crowd. Also, the flash-based animation is just that. Flash-based. It's nothing special, but also isn't exactly terrible. I mean, I've seen much lazier and much crappier stuff when it comes to flash-based animation, but I've also seen some really artistic and beautiful stuff as well. Star vs. Evil falls somewhere in the middle of these two spectrums, and so I feel pretty meh about it. It's standard. Alright, let's talk about the intro. The electronic music is fairly catchy and it summarizes the show alright, and definitely captures the fast-paced tone of the show. I like it, but I don't love it. It definitely won't make any of my top lists, but hey, at least it's not terrible. It's standard. As for the show's humor, it isn't bad at all, and there are actually a few parts that made me chuckle, such as these.
Mystic Room Self-Transform!
Suck? Suck? Why was the word suck in that spell?
I don't know, it just came out that way! You're going down, downer!
Oh yeah? Well, your mother's a horse!
The problem is that it can often come off as too hyper. There's rarely a moment in the show where something isn't happening all the time, and it can feel like the writers are just checking off plot points off of a checklist rather than storytelling. As a result, a lot of the humor feels very one-shot. It's standard. As for the soundtrack, it feels just like the background environments here. It's unnoticeable, but I won't hold the show against it because music is so subjective. But yeah, I don't have anything really to say about the soundtrack apart from the intro theme not being half bad. It's standard. So how do I like Star vs. the Forces of Evil? I want to love you show, but I just can't. Overall, this show doesn't feel unique, lacks higher plot, is way too fast-paced, and is all around a standard cartoon. It's not bad in any sense of the word, and really comes down to personal preference and age, but yeah, I'm not continuing to another episode. I really can't recommend the show to anyone I know, but I do think you should give it at least one watch so you can see whether or not it's your cup of tea. I recommend you judge it for yourself. Hey, thanks for watching my video and staying with it this far. It means the world to me. If you liked what you saw, please leave a like and subscribe to see future content. It helps more than you know. If you'd like to share with me your opinion on the show or just give me some helpful feedback, please comment down below. I read them all and I reply to all of them that I can. Unless YouTube decides I can't, which is weird if you guys realize sometimes you can't reply to the videos, so it's interesting. The video that's being featured on screen here is my first impression video regarding We Bare Bears. Did I like it? Did I not? Click to find out. In other news, school just started up for me, and with AP classes and all, it may be hard for me to get content out to you guys regularly, even though I will try to maintain my current video a week streak. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and thank you for watching. I don't know how to end this. Bye-bye.